Didn't I have to remind you that before one time too?
Well, when I got up this morning, he and Robo were live.
Yeah.
I caught the New Year's program he did.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how you going, John C?
How you going, Justin? Oh, and there's another bloke there called Wood, if I could. I don't think he counts for much.
Oh, come on, you can't laugh at that.
No, you're a scroll sawer, aren't you, John?
Yes, a scroll sawyer.
Oh yeah. Oh well, we talk to them too.
Well, what would you like to know? What would you like to know about scroll sawing? I can tell you lots.
No, I actually tried it. I tried it once. I had a nice Excelsior scroll saw, and no, not an Excelsior, a Hegner actually it was. Excelsior, a friend of mine had, but it was a nice machine and everything, and I couldn't get interested in it. Like wood turning to me is the impatient man's hobby. It's either fixed or stuffed in a nanosecond, you know.
Yep.
Whereas scroll sawing, you generally have to work at stuffing something up on it with patience.
So you're saying you're an impatient man?
In some things, yes.
You basically want to make you want to see quick results fast.
That's
and if
it.
you,
Yeah.
And if you screw it up, you can change it and make it into something else even faster.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. I can make firewood pretty quick out of my scroll saw at work.
Oh, I can do that with any woodworking project of mine. The only criteria is it's got to be cut into 10-inch lengths, you know.
But at least if someone with a lathe like myself, I get the big paper lawn bags. If you're familiar with them, they're triple thickness paper that can get soaking wet and still dry out and hold the product. Because we have our yard waste pickups here bi-weekly all summer long. Though I just take from my, won't say dust collector, but my big shop vac and the big collector, and I put them in the paper bags, all the shavings. And people pay me for them, for lawn mulch.
Geez, you're lucky. We when we were working flat out, we produced up to 30 or 40 bags, like garbage bags full of sawdust a day, or shavings a day. And look, I had them stacked there. They could have filled my shed up. And no, I had a sign out the front, mulch, 50 cents a bag. And that was just to pay for the garbage bags more than anything else. Nobody bothered, so I used to put them into a big bin after that out the front with free mulch on it. And it's human character. It's interesting. They wouldn't come in during the day, but they'd all disappear overnight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
So
I got a couple of.
It was handy to me to get rid of them.
I got two contractors, landscaping contractors now paying me for them. And they bring me wood, which I like because they also are attached to a tree service. And now it's winter. Yeah. They're right now out ice fishing.
No, we've got a lot of dairy farms around near us and adjustment properties for horses and cattle and stuff, fat cattle. And what they do is they take the shavings and put them down in the gateways to save, because the gateways get very, very muddy during winter time, so they put them down in the gates to stop a bit of the mud.
Well, I get $10 a bag for my shavings, and that's pretty good.
Jeez. That
I just have to.
if I could flog mine at $10 a bag, I'd make more on the shavings than doing the bloody job.
Yeah, I got to say it's along the people who do landscaping. That's what they want. They want to buy it and they want it fresh. Uh, a little bit of dust doesn't hurt them. And sometimes they want, and I try to keep them by dark wood and light wood, you know. So, because
Color
sometimes they
coded.
want one or the other, or they want to mix them. I don't care.
No.
But they know I'm a vet, and what I've been turning, I get a lot of shavings out of. You know, when you turn an urn, especially hollowing them out, you don't have to be too fussy hollowing because ashes don't care. So most of the inside, 90% of them are drilled out first. And now COVID's hit. I've had starting getting more requests for them again. It's been 2 years since I had a couple of veterans groups asking me if I wanted to turn some more because I'd already sent them through them. I do them through the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Yeah. What sort of work do you do, John? Like in your scroll sawing stuff?
For my scroll sewing stuff,
Yeah.
scroll sawing stuff rather. All kinds of stuff. See all that up there?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But I even I'll incorporate a bunch of different things too. Like this one here, I made a snow globe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's neat.
And
Did you make the globe as well? Did you?
no. The globe is actually a light globe for your exterior door outside your door.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Yeah.
I like doing portraits and three-dimensional pieces. I like doing like baskets and bowls and stuff, and just add stuff to them too, right? Just to make them different.
Oh, geez, I'm not gonna let my wife see that. She loves butterflies, butterflies and dragonflies.
Butterflies, snowballs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I just finished this one.
Ah, right. Yeah. G'day,
And-
John N.
And I'm working on this dog portrait right here too. Let me get this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
How you going, Johnny?
Let's get it.
Looks like a Pomeranian.
I'm not. I can't remember what kind of dog.
Yeah, it is, Robbo. My mother-in-law and father-in-law have them.
The dog.
How you going, Joe?
G'day, Justin.
I like making bacon. I like making bacon.
Making
yeah.
bacon. Give us a look at that again.
Making bacon.
Ah.
And Canadian bacon too.
Ah.
I thought you were going to show us two pigs like mounting or something, making bacon, you know?
No. But I made this one for my wife, and she got a kick out of this though.
I could just leave you on full screen, eh?
You made it for her, but it's in your shop.
She's got one inside. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm done.
Do you do stack turning or cutting?
I tried. I try not to. It depends on what it is, but I will. I'll stack cut some things, but portraits are one off so that they're unique.
Yeah, we've
That-
got
Go
a
ahead.
scroll sawer down here, and he's got the most magnificent model of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, all scroll sawed, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Stands about 6 foot high.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you can actually take sections of the roof off, and he's got all the inside, all the pews and the chapels and everything inside there as well.
Yeah,
And it took him 12 months to do it.
yeah.
but-
See, that'd take at least a year or so.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, did you ever get your bowl finished? Like, what did it turn out like? Your hollow bowl?
No, it's just sitting there now, bro.
What? You haven't finished it?
No, I've been too busy. I'm slacked, I know.
I wanted to see it.
Nah, man, it's just sitting there behind me at the moment.
Yeah.
I promise, when it's done, I'll.
Did you ever get your Dremel all hooked up and stuff, or what?
Yeah, I've got all the kit there. I've got it working.
Okay.
Just yeah, got distracted. Saw a squirrel somewhere, and that was it.
I understand that.
In the holiday season, it's easy to get distracted.
Oh yeah. Got some new kit, new headphones, microphone, and stuff. So I'm just trying to get everything wired in and get it all running again. The other day when I was on and I wanted to put my mask on, and I realised the headphones were getting in the way and everything was just going to be a hassle. So I thought, better safe than sorry. So I ducked up the shop, spent $20.
Good deal.
Yeah. Just a matter now of getting everything figured out. Got some new
John
toys to
Nave.
play with.
Yeah. Mr. John Nave is asking how everyone's New Year's Day is going.
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
Hot.
Stop with the thermostat.
100 degrees.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the weather's like over your side, Justin, but it's fairly warm over this side.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. No, I don't break up the singlet for nothing. Nobody wants to see this.
How funny.
Hey. Oh, yeah,
You guys are not feeling any pity from me at all. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, I don't
Aw.
mind, 'cause I'd rather have the heat than the snow.
Well, yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind looking at the snow out the window.
It started snowing this morning about 10 o'clock. Hasn't stopped yet.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's only minus 14. It's pretty decent too. So
You hear
Just a walk in the park, eh?
yeah, it's decent. It actually feels pretty warm outside when I was walking out here. Oh crap!
I mean, you could actually feel something in your toes. All right. Well, I might just sit at the lathe and have a play with the pencil and see what comes up.
Hey, John.
Yep.
How far do tips go before they turn into a lesson? Helping people out with stuff,
Well, it depends on how many tips somebody's asking for, though.
What about
Like,
a
I don't
private one? Not a live stream, but a private one.
I don't mind answering questions and stuff, but like I do private tutorials with anybody that wants them.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's one that I've been looking at. So I'm not looking at the base model anymore, right? Because that only took pin blades. The next one I'm looking at is $400, and it takes pinned or non-pinned.
Well, you're gonna want pinless blades.
Yeah, Yeah, I know that. That's why I thought if I went with a machine that takes both, I'm not going to use the pinned ones, but as long as it takes the pinless. Is it just a clamp or something, is it?
Pretty much. Because it's a clamp that you got to tighten, and then you tension the blade on it after.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind trying to do like maybe concentrate on like Aussie theme type stuff like animals and
You mean like koalas and wallabies and
yeah, and then like maybe try gum trees and stuff like that down the track, you know?
Yeah.
Spiders.
Because I can draw, so I can draw my patterns and stuff, so that's no problem. So just I don't know. I've got a design that I wouldn't mind trying, but I don't want to show it on live.
Why not?
So it doesn't get stolen.
Oh my God! You put copyright across the bottom of it.
Yeah, it never works these days.
Well, see, what the thing is, it's your live stream, and you're showing your personal drawing, so technically, it's your copyrighted stuff.
No, it's actually an item that I found that I think was scroll sword, and I'd like to replicate it.
Oh yeah.
It was oh, all right. I suppose I can show them. They both should be around everywhere anyway.
Well, isn't that just Australia? It's a box, right?
Yeah.
Nice. It's pretty though, with a boomerang in it. Yeah, nice.
It's a salt and pepper shakers. Look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And that's probably about the thickness you can go, eh?
You can go up to about 2 inches.
Can you?
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
I would
like-
actually.
With the blades, sorry, just with the blades, are they going to be able to cut stuff like that, or am I tripping?
No, you can do that. But I would actually make those like a bandsaw box almost. Like cut
Yeah.
the front and the back off, cut out the inside, and then glue it back together.
Okay. I don't think these were done like that though. These are a solid piece of wood.
Well,
Yeah, just with a whole board up the centre of
yeah,
the.
with a single hole in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you slice the front and back off, you can actually hold more inside of it, right?
Yeah.
Glue
yeah.
that together, you won't even know it's a seam.
Yep.
But that's just what I would do.
Yeah. No, that would make more sense.
Tourist fair from 50 years ago in the outback, that was.
Yeah. This is from Cooper Petey.
Yeah.
It's got it written down the bottom there.
Cool.
These were in my mother-in-law's house, and we were going through some stuff because she's doing a major spring clean.
Well, if you want to do thicker stuff, you just get a coping saw or a fret saw, right? And then you can do up to 8 inches thick.
Okay.
But then you're doing it
Do you
by
mind if I
hand.
ask a quick question? Then?
Yeah.
Sorry, John. That hang on, try and get up on the screen. That knob there, is that going to be okay for piercing in, or should I go with something a bit pointier?
For piercing?
Yeah.
Need something pointier.
Yeah, you need
Diving
something
in.
pointier. If you're gonna pierce and burr, go with the backwards, the upside down teardrop one.
Yep.
Or use an up spiral.
Okay, I haven't got one of those.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. Does that count as a lesson?
You can actually just buy up spiral drill bits too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Where are we?
Justin, those that can't turn, pierce and burn, don't you?
I was waiting for that. All right, I'm going to take a rare opportunity to hang shit.
Ooh.
I punched through the top, and I did that while I was hollowing from the inside.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
How would an expert wood turner fix that problem? An expert turner wouldn't make that problem.
Well, I've seen expert wood turners. I've seen expert wood turners do that problem. Probably what I would do is come back to take the top right off it and get a contrasting timber and make a lid for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But the problem is that you're going to be thin all around there somewhere. Like when you start piercing it, you can see the thickness over it. So,
yeah.
And well, most wood turners would say, you made a mistake.
Yeah. There's a ridge right in the middle of it I can feel already.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll show up once I start piercing, won't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, man. I wanted to keep it as a holo. Oh, bugger it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Well, that's right. Look, it's a good opportunity to play around. If you don't like it, you can soon turn it back off again.
True enough. And what's Jay up to?
I'm putting clear lacquer on stuff today, really. And if anything dries in time, I'll take the tenon off stuff.
Okay.
I've got a spraying rack outside that I've attached my my red gum, my ghost gum bowl to. So I'm out. That's outside, been drying, getting sprayed.
Is it in the shade, Jay, or not?
Yes, it's under the eaves of the house.
Oh, yeah. Don't put them in the sun because the lacquer will bubble.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying that. John, that second one that I sent you, John, was the one that I was more looking at over the red one.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Giants one right now, though.
Yep.
Would I be right, John, in saying that the biggest improvement in scroll sawing was the all-round blade where you could just change direction straight away without having to worry about it? Like the round diamond-shaped blades.
The spiral blades, that's all I use.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Yeah, that's all I use. And what's that?
Are they different thicknesses, those blades?
Yep, you can get them from. I don't have any number ones left right now. I'm waiting for my order to come in. But then you got twos, and threes. I get different brands here and everything else too, though. And so they go from 030, 032, 035 is your thickness of your blade.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Amy. How are you?
How you going, Amy?
G'day, Amy.
Hey,
Did you
Amy,
finish
how's it
the bottle of wine, Amy?
And the advantage of using the spiral blades and the small ones that I use, like the biggest one I have is a number 3, but I've only used my number 3 a couple times, and that was just on like a 2x6 or 2x8 material.
Yep.
And because most of the stuff I do is fine detail work, whereas Charles uses number 3s and 5s on all his work because he does like huge billboards, right? When he does his scroll saw work. So he uses bigger blades because he's doing bigger work. I use smaller blades because of the small work I do. Because I don't know if you guys saw that me and Shaylee did a competition a couple weeks ago. I can't even find it. And we cut this lotus flower. It was about 1.5 inches, it was 1.25 inches tall. I can't even find it. It was like really, really small. It was really cool.
You'll find it when you clean up next.
Yeah. Well, I had it here. I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh,
That's,
wow.
that's an
Oh.
inch and a quarter tall.
Yeah.
How long does
And
that
that's-
take?
Like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Once you get good at it, though.
Yes.
Well, that's the same as anything. Anybody good at something makes it look pretty easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then the thing is, the smaller you can make stuff, the more experienced and skilled you are at doing it, right? So
Yeah.
in the pool, oh my god, unbelievable, Amy.
Was that a Christmas present, was it, Amy? The pool?
See, but I find that when I'm scroll sawing, that I tried a flat blade once and I couldn't cut a straight line with it. I can cut a straight line better with a spiral blade than a flat blade. And I tried a flat blade once, and that was it. I just didn't go. I never turned back on them. I also don't know how people can just keep turn all their wood all the time. It's just easier just to lay it down in front of you and just do this with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Only working an XY axis.
Yeah. You actually gonna turn anything today, Jay?
No.
No. Okay.
No, just finishing off projects. Making them look pretty.
To be honest, these days I have a late night and it takes me 3 days to recover from it. I normally go to bed about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I went to bed at like nearly 1 o'clock, I suppose. So I'm a bit.
Well, I have to admit, it's the first time for years that I've been up past 11 or 12 o'clock on a New Year's Eve. Just a normal
I hear
day to me. And you're up pretty late, weren't you, Bob?
No, that was early for me. I had just got out of breakfast and grabbed my coffee from the coffee pot. I have it set to go off at and brew coffee at 7 in the morning. It's been weird most of my life. I'm always awake. 90% of the time by 6:37 every morning.
Yeah,
Can't help
unfortunately, I'm the same. Although I'm learning to sleep a bit later these days, I must admit.
Even when I turn my alarm off, I want to sleep in on the weekends. I'm up at 6:30. During the week, it's 6 o'clock. In the weekends, I can't sleep past 6:30. It doesn't matter how. I can stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 6:30.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's a bloody nuisance sometimes.
I hate it.
I've just learned to make the best of it. Oh well.
Yeah.
Alarm goes off at 5 o'clock every morning for me. If I can sleep till 7, that's a miracle.
Oh, well, the mail has to get delivered, Justin.
No, just open it and tell you if you've got a good bill.
Sorry?
I was about to
Right,
say you can't open it all at home.
No, sorry, Jay ran over the top of you then.
No, it's a running joke between me and Jay that posties, because we have to work from home now, so we just open everybody's mail and read it, and then if it's important, we give you a call.
Yeah. I know that was on the Facebook one. I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
It was.
My favourite
All right.
one, my favourite one is still all the passengers in the aeroplane sitting there, and an announcement comes over. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your pilot speaking. I'm working from home today.
Please excuse me, we're using Windows. I just have to reboot.
All right.
All right, so that's kind of how I made it. So where are we? Here we go. Kind of made a start on it, but it chipped out.
Hang on a second.
That's all right. People can see.
I know they can. Watch. Oh, yeah.
So,
Are you making islands?
Well, I thought I'd just cut random holes. If I don't try and keep any symmetry in it, then when I fail to make symmetry, it'll be obvious.
Yeah.
Could be,
right.
you know, patterns on a giraffe.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Exactly.
If you want, try and curl them towards the grain lines.
Okay.
That way, it would look more natural-ish.
Yeah. One of the things I do notice, though, is as I get about an inch from the edge, that's where it starts to curve over on the inside of the bowl. So I've got to just avoid that area a bit. But anyway, all right. Well, that's... Gee, look
Well,
how thin
so
we've got.
there you go. You've got a musical instrument now, Justin. a wooden bongo drum.
So look how thin it got there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just too much on the open grain. But yeah.
Don't do that too much. You'll make another roll.
Mongrels.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to diss your musical talents.
All right. What will turn now? Let's do some more homework.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
No worries, mate.
No, boy.
Ooh, that Dremel extension gets hot.
Yes. Have you got any engine grease or packing grease?
Yep.
Packing grease. Yeah, get some of that and take the whole the bit that spins in the middle of that. Take it right out and lightly put a little bit of packing grease over it. That actually takes friction down a bit.
Yeah. That's good advice. Cheers.
So what do you do, John, during the day?
Commercial sign installer. I'm doing it for 27 years now. Yeah, I saw some guy working on our sign. I saw some guy working on our sign at the car wash. I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. Can I go for a ride in your bucket? He's like, no. I said, are you hiring anybody? He goes, yeah. I said, well, let's have an interview. So I talked to him on the spot for about 20 minutes, and then I've been doing signs ever since. So design, install, service, maintain, take down, whatever.
Yeah, so it was meant to be, eh?
Yeah, I enjoy it because the thing is, it's not a mundane same thing job every day. Like, yes, I go to work every day, but the thing is, I'm doing different jobs every day. I'm meeting people, I'm traveling, I'm driving. It's different every day.
Yep.
So that's what I enjoy about it. That's why I've been doing it for so long too.
Self-employed or with a
No,
firm?
I work for somebody else.
All right. There's the cigar bowl. Cigar bowl. Crevice in there.
I suppose it's helpful if you've got a natural creative bent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I haven't got a creative bone in my body, so sorting and delivering mail works for me just fine.
Don't be like that.
You still have old neon to take care of and maintain, or you totally
Yeah,
got away from it?
there is still neon around. Not a lot of people know how to not a lot of people know how to service it. Not a lot of people know how to blow it. I know when I first started, there was probably 10 neon benders in Edmonton, and now there's 2 because nobody wants to deal with neon anymore.
They'll just give up on it, do they?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing, because there's no money in it anymore, right? Because all the hotels and everything else are going to LED, but the casinos still want their neon signs repaired and replaced on all their lotto machines and stuff, their slot machines and stuff, right?
Yep.
So there's still still some hotels around that have neon, and the people still have bar signs that they want fixed too. So there's still some work for neon vendors and neon blowers, but it's a dying art. Same with hand painting. There's not there's a handful of hand painters that learned back in the 60s and 70s how to hand paint vehicles, and there's not a lot of them around anymore either.
Yeah, it's so much easier to buy a wrap.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you can just digital print whatever you want and put a wrap right on the vehicle in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy with it, you can change it. Like
And
in
it
2
doesn't
hours.
evaluate the car as therefore vehicle as if you had done it with paint.
Yeah, exactly. Like hand painting, airbrushing, nobody does it anymore. It's a dying art. And since you can go down to the craft store and everybody has a Cricut now, everybody does their own graphic, their window graphics now.
Yeah. In the hot presses, they're down. You can buy them out of China, and they're excellent. So you can do your own shirts, cups, hats.
Yeah, exactly.
So, John, what got you into scrolling?
Honestly, well, I can actually. Just give me a sec. I totally forgot about this, but apparently I did this when I was in Boy Scouts. So apparently I did that when I was in Boy Scouts. It's pretty lame. But I totally forgot that I did scroll saw work. But my father-in-law was building wishing wells for front lawns and Adirondack chairs, and he was selling them at his front yard. I'm like, what would look cool is if you had like a design on the front of that, like on the roof line or on the back of the chair, put their name on it or whatever. He's like, well, go ahead. I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that. He goes, go ahead, just figure it out and do it. So I bought a cheap old scroll saw and drew something out for him, and then I did it for him, and we attached it on there, and people started asking for different designs and stuff. So then that's how I got into it. So I've been doing it for like I've only been scrolling for about 10 years now.
You hold your age well.
How old do you think I am?
Well, if you learned that did that a few years ago, and you've only been doing it for 10, that would put you in your 20s, late or mid to late 30s.
No, I'm 48.
I wasn't going to let the cat out of the bag. We discussed that the other day.
I've lived a long life for the short age that I am. I got a lot of experience and knowledge under my belt.
I think the same thing too, John. I've been a lot of places, done a lot of things, managed to live to tell the tale in a lot of cases, which is rather good.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna make it, Jay, a baseball bat? Or Justin, you're making a baseball bat?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, no, this is my homework.
It's
This will
what?
be, this is homework.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm watching.
Oh, I bet you are. See, I've got these to learn how to make. Let's hold it up closer. There's those and those.
Why don't you just make yourself a duplicator?
Because there's no fun in that.
So the long part of that story is that Jupp went and had a personal lesson with Robbo, and he did that at Robbo's house, and now he needs to do it at home without Robbo lurking in the background.
Even though he's still looking in the background.
Yeah, virtually, yeah.
The sad truth of the story is that Robbo made those.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I was trying to make you sound good, Justin.
Cheers, mate, but no, I won't lie. I won't claim my work as my own. Somebody else's work as my own, I mean. But no, they're my design, and Robbo whipped them up for me, and now I just have to practice them until I get it right.
So are you going to use calipers and everything to duplicate them, or are you using a paper pattern for it?
Pretty much just do it by eye.
Oh, okay.
And when it looks right and when I feel happy about it, then I've got these. I don't know if you can see that in the shed view.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're holding your wood.
That's it. This is my substantial wood that brings all the girls to the bar.
What is that? What is that, an 8-foot piece?
Sorry?
Is that 8 feet?
2.1, I believe, meters.
Okay.
Feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Robbo's got the lathe at his joint to turn these. So while I'm at home, I'll practice until I get it right, and then I'll go back and say, "G'day, how you going? Can I borrow Henry for a bit?"
And the next accessory for your lathe will be another banjo.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Jay, just put me up on full screen for a minute, please.
Yeah.
I got a message for John. Wash your mouth out with that, mentioning duplicator around me.
Robbo is the duplicator.
I was about to say that.
You know, growing up, I learned that liquid soap is actually better than a bar soap because you can spit it out, where the bar soap stuck to the back of your teeth.
Yeah. You taste it for a while, whereas liquid soap you can spit it all out.
Yeah.
God, if you threaten a kid with that these days, they'd have you in court.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So John N says loves airbrushing. He loves your shirt, Jay.
I didn't see Jay's shirt.
Oh, you don't need to see it.
Probably said something about duplicating. Ray of sunshine. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, Robbo, you don't believe in pantographs or duplicators or anything?
No, the problem with most economy duplicators is that they do a terrible job of actually duplicating anything, and you've got to spend heaps of time sanding, and you lose any crisp edges on everything. Whereas if you're prepared to pay $50,000 or $60,000 for a good duplicator with a back knife or something like that, yes, they can do a very, very good job, but there's still a fair bit of sanding afterwards to do.
Well, I suppose. Well, if you're going to spend that much on one, you might as well just get a 5-axis CNC with a multi-head on it, right?
That's right. Yeah, these days, yeah, I'm going back about 20 years ago before CNCs were actually the norm, But most duplicators cannot do as good a job as what a hand turner can do.
Yeah.
They have their places. Like there used to be another bloke. There were actually 5 of us wood turners around the area when I started 30 odd years ago in where I live now. And we all had a meeting, and we're all doing different things. I was doing brander posts and the big architectural turnings. Another bloke was doing something else. I was also turning all the legs for 5 furniture companies around the place. But sometimes if they put an order in for 1,000 and I'd be snowed under, one of the other turners, Chris, he had a $60,000 duplicating lathe. So I used to send them up there, and he'd send me down brander posts. So we all sort of worked together and all made money. So it was good.
Oh, that's good. See, like the only thing I've ever turned is this bowl, and I did this in grade 7. And you can see the faceplate screws on the backside.
Oh,
that actually made it through to the inside.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what green or brown felt was invented for, was to cover all those screws with, those screw holes with. That's how people used to turn, because we didn't have chucks or anything.
Well, you can't put felt on the inside, though.
No, well, that's right. Yeah.
But like I said, that was grade 7, so that was it's pretty good for my first bowl ever.
I was about to say, for 7th grade, that's not bad going. If you're 7th grade out here, you'd be about 8 or 9, I suppose. Oh no, about 11 or 12.
It's got a nice crack in it, though. I don't know.
But
geez.
I don't know. I think it compares with some of the work I've seen lately from people who claim to be turners.
Well, yes. Yeah, very true, unfortunately.
All right.
Have you guys ever turned like a complete dinner set?
I have.
Like bowls, cups, plates, saucers, everything.
Yeah, I did one about 35 years ago, just as it wasn't a fun thing. It was actually an order for one of the local cafes to just set up a display sort of thing, but it had all the dinner plates, the bread and butter plates, the dessert bowls, the cups, the sauces, and the cruet set, just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Cool. How long did that take you though? Like what was it a
About
12
a
setting
day.
set? Like was it a 12 setting set or 8 setting set?
I was a six seating set,
Okay.
like so. But took me about a day and a half, I suppose, once I got into it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I just switch the brain off and just go. Like after you've turned the first one or two of everything, it's just becomes sort of instinctive after a second. After that,
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know, about 10, it's been longer than that. 15, 20 years ago, 20 years ago at least. Time flies and just don't realize it. You're just getting older, but you never want to admit it. Uh, but I had a unique order that took me a year to produce that I was very pleased with. I had to make a setting all out of wood uh, for 50 people. Now that was plates, salad bowl. What do they call the other? The big plate that everything sits in.
all right. Catch you later, John.
They have a name for the big plate that you put everything on and eat out of and then back again. The charger.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
charger plate.
And I had to make 50 complete settings for a big banquet. Made pretty good money out of it, but I got sick and tired of turning them with the salad bowl, the dinner plate, the dessert
Make
plate,
sure.
all out of wood.
Sorry, Robert. Jump. Make sure that you get the right marks there. That's why I never put the centre marks in until I've marked out the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I got you. That's the plan.
All right.
So it's only eyeballed. Looks close-ish. I think by the time I get down into it. Cheers, mate.
All right. Always put your primaries in first and then your secondaries after. Sorry, Robert.
Yeah, I was just saying it was quite a task to do all them.
Yep.
But and they all had to be oiled down so they could have food out of them. It's all for a medieval festival. It was interesting. It was a lot of work. So after that, I just got sick and tired of turning plates and bowls.
Yep. I can appreciate that. No, we once did for a replica for a banquet hall. We did an 80 stand candle chandelier. It had 80 candles in it. It was an interesting job, actually. I enjoyed doing it, I must admit. The hardest job I've ever done was turning 1/4-inch dowel 10 feet long and beads the whole way down and then splitting it in half.
Oh,
That took 2.5 weeks to do that.
How many did you have to do before you got it right without breaking?
I broke 6 along the way.
Now, was that split turning?
No. We split it afterwards. We used a very, very fine blade on the bandsaw, and we set up a block with a 1/4-inch hole through it with a splitter behind the blade so as it held it apart, and then fed it into a copper tube as it came out the back to keep it straight. We did the same thing on the lathe. We basically used the capstan like the wood turning lathe, but we had 10 feet of copper pipe out from the headstock that the wood fitted into, and then another 10 feet out of the tailstock, and I was only turning about 2 or 3 inches at a time, just putting the beads into it, 10mm beads all the way down it, was for the beading on a cabinet, an antique cabinet.
Wow, that sounds monotonous.
It was. That was one job I couldn't just rely on instinct. It was total concentration.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Fresh set of glasses after that.
No, many buckets of Valium taken for that one, I tell you.
And you didn't use your big skew, I'll bet. Would you use a
No.
1 inch?
No, I was still using a 1 inch one. I pleaded with the customer to do it in 4-foot sections, but he said, no, the original one has no joins in it. It's all done continuous.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, about 6, maybe 7 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun just staring at the walls. But I had a interesting job come up for a local church. And they had a problem with their balcony because it was all wood. The whole church was, I won't say an antique, but it was probably 100 years old. They just kept updating and restoring the inside and to keep the inside looking old. But to do so, they took the old panels off the wall, put in aluminum studs and everything, and then put it back to make the fire marshal happy and get electrical, plumbing, and everything else in where you can't see it. But what I had to do was the trim for and all the spindles for the balcony because they were too far apart by law. You know, because you can't let a little kid get his head stuck in there and turn it sideways and choke. Or if they're going over and holding on with their hands and their feet are dangling and they get their head caught in between the spindles, they could break their neck. You know, atomic bomb hit, could have a big explosion and get stabbed by him, I bet. But nobody would care then. But they had to have new ones turned. And it wasn't hard. And one of the people in the church actually had a $2,500 duplicator. Ah, okay, Jay.
No, that's come up well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and shiny, mate. Good one.
Really good. Good character.
Yeah.
You should almost join those two bowls together.
But in turning all these, I had like 96 of them to turn. And man had the duplicator. He had it for a commercial business of his. And it was a knife duplicator. It's a dozen different fittings, but I like the idea of the knife. And I had never used one before. That takes some learning. But I put the original in, set it up, got it going, screwed up half a dozen or so trying to figure out how to make it work because couldn't find any instructions for the sucker. And I turned 100 so they'd have a few extra in case the people putting them in might damage them.
Yep.
The only problem was that immediately they looked new. And I left room on top and bottom because I wasn't sure what they were doing because they also needed them for a railing and for that went up a couple of steps so the lengths were all the same and they could trim them. lo and behold, the first thing they do is take them out in the parking lot and take a chain to them and beat on them. Have
There you
some of
go.
the kids carve names in them and hearts and all sorts of stuff. And then they started going back 5 paint colors earlier and spraying them one color and sanding them a little and spraying them another one and chipping the paint off because it was they're sitting there almost crying. There's a lot of work into that, and they're trashing them.
Well,
They hit
that
a couple of good coats of white paint and put them up there.
yeah.
Everybody-
G'day, Chris. How are you?
I typed it. I couldn't get a word in, so I typed it.
G'day, Bailey.
Yeah.
G'day, Chris.
That's what used to annoy me with veranda posts. Like, we were very careful about stacking them. The builders would come in and pick them up in their ute and just chuck them in with the bags of concrete and stones and everything and dint them. And I used to get really pissed about that.
What's a dint?
The thing is, the check didn't bounce.
No, I never had a problem with any of them.
Oh, be right back.
Yeah.
He's in trouble now. Look out!
Yeah.
What's the word there, John? Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog.
Yeah.
Have a freight train.
Whereabouts are you then, Chris? I thought the whole world would have been just about had New Year's Day by now.
I think Blair's is first, and then Dr. Bob, and then and then Blair's first, Jamison, and then Dr. Bob. They're an hour apart from each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm an hour from now. It's
Oh,
11:06
right.
Eastern.
Well, Jamison won't be too worried about the new year. He's on a dirty weekend with his wife.
Oh yeah, that's where he is. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's buying. It's just him and his wife, isn't it?
Yeah. Managed to palm the kids off onto the grandparents.
Right.
Good
right,
move,
right.
I reckon. Except
I think
that now I'm a grandparent. I don't think it's a good idea anymore.
No, it's not.
I think he was going to come into the New Year's Eve live last night. I got a message like 2 hours after I'd closed it. You still alive? Like, nope. How you going, Herb?
G'day, Herb.
Herbie.
Oh, you say that with such feeling, John.
Oh, we love it. We love everybody in the woodworking community.
Well, wasn't Herbie a Volkswagen?
Sorry?
Wasn't Herbie a Volkswagen? In a
No,
movie?
Herbie was a love bug.
Yeah, Herbie the Volkswagen.
Hey, you're going to be getting some cold temperatures up there in Canada.
No, it's actually probably 20 degrees warmer than it has been in the last couple of years.
Well,
Like it's really mild right now. It's unbelievable.
there's a front that just come across through China and hit Hong Kong, and the lowest temperature has ever been in recorded history in Tokyo. It's a very, very low pressure, the lowest in recorded history, and it's swinging across it's going to go across the Canadian Alaskan area and presently swing through there. And
Yeah,
it's going to be down way below zero.
once it hits the mountains, it'll warm up anyway. So mountains will stop the cold from coming into Alberta. So I'm happy. See, Mr. Nave's back.
Welcome back,
Here we
John.
go. Yeah. Hey, John. So you had a story to tell, John, when you were finished, you said.
Yeah.
I've only just seen the notification from a group that I'm adminning that says you're going live in 45 minutes, Chuck. Whoops.
No, it said, I'm going to go live if nobody else is. You jump on, here I am. Yeah, all good.
Whoops.
Because I got bored. The missus has gone out to see mother-in-law for a couple of hours. So I thought, well, while she's out, I might as well jump in the shed.
And play.
Yeah, boy.
And play. Yeah, boy.
No, he's got homework to do. Homework before playtime.
Homework and the teacher's watching. Look out.
You know what? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, eh?
That's right.
Amen.
Yeah. Until you
It does get a little wearing at times.
Until you come up with deadlines.
Yeah, no deadlines. Don't need that. That's not fun.
Oh, as I tell my customers, I work on demand. Them that demand the most get served quicker.
I got to make that into a sign.
You gotta go, Robbo. Make sure you get royalties on that, eh?
Yeah. I'm waiting for John to start making the read between the lines finger sign, you know.
No, you need to leave that alone. That's mine. No, I don't care. Keep freezing up there, John. What's going on? Oh, just you freezing up. Okay.
Who, me?
No, you just stop moving, and it looks like you freeze up.
Oh no, because I'm writing right now.
He's writing his memoirs.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, John. I don't know the story, but yeah.
Damn. Sorry to hear that.
Everybody's holding their breath for Justin, I think.
I get the hint.
No, gouge first. Gouge first, Justin. And get the little sweep back in behind there. And remember, it's not actually a cove. It's more a straight cut in and then it bends out. Yeah, face your bevel the way you want the cut to go. That's it. Right, that should be enough now to do your, yeah. I saw that. I saw that one too.
Yeah, I hit it with his head.
Yeah. Once you start that cut, Justin, you've got to go with it. You just... G'day, Steve. Steve Combs is in the... I could think of nothing worse, John. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm the same. And we had a magistrate in our town when I was growing up. His son was killed by a drink driver, and man, I reckon people would have paid thousands not to come before him as a drink driver case, because it was the maximum law. They were thrown into jail for 6 or 7 years, most of them. He hated them with a passion. It's the first thing I told my kids, that if they go out to a party or something, I don't care if they've only had half a beer or whatever, and I don't care where it is or what time it is, ring me up and I will come and get you. And the same with your mates. Unfortunately, they did. G'day, Lewis.
How you going, Steve? How you going, Lewis?
All right, what am I doing wrong?
I would say that you're not getting bevel support there. And you're not actually putting the tip of the tool in. You're getting it down into the cutting edge, down lower.
Too far down here, not up here.
Yeah, not on the tip.
Okay. Yep.
Once you've got the tip in, then you can go in.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. I knew that comment was coming.
Tip for the day.
See, easy, isn't it, Justin?
Just dropping the tool rest a bit helped.
Yeah, that's it.
Chickened out. See, I'm all nervous now because you're all watching.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're not getting a bevel support there at all.
Yeah.
Slight design
Problem.
deviation.
Problem solved. All right. What I'll do then, since we need to practice that, is I'll do it up here.
That's a good idea. No, don't put that cut in.
I want to make a bead there.
Oh, all
And
right.
then I want to try and, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Make a bead and then split the bead in half? Come down onto it that way? No.
No, you only put one line in, roll half the bead into the where you've got clearance,
Yeah.
and then use your gouge to cut the cove in behind it. Happy New Year, Lewis. Steve C, how are we? The
Good.
man,
How's everybody?
the man of the white beard.
How you going, Steve?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, John. So sorry,
Nice, Dave.
Hi, John.
man. Okay.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Lewis.
Yeah, I don't blame him, John. I think if anybody did anything to any of mine, I don't know what the reaction would be. I tell you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be pretty, put it that way. You're not the only one, John. There's a lot of people that just about live for these, I think. I must admit, I think it's rather good that it happens that way.
I personally think what Jay has supplied here and has done has been something that is catching on for other people around the world today. Just be able to get together and just like we used to pre-COVID, go to Bill's shop and just talk. Bring a six-pack, whatever, a pot, whatever, some donuts sometime in the morning and a jug of coffee. And
Where's my bloody donuts?
Well, it's a little problem. They won't give me the patents on a matter transporter yet.
Yeah, nothing like standing around and telling lies and bullshit.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Oh, as Americans say, shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
Yep, totally agree with you, John. The other thing is never go to bed with an argument on your lips.
Yep.
I might add, John, that you'll get our bill in the mail, all right?
What did Bill ever do to you?
He's working on a truck outside. talking
Yeah.
down a big Mercedes-Benz truck.
Jay, switch us all over, buddy. I'm going to stop for a minute and give my hands a rest.
That was pretty quick work there, John.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
There's your first scroll saw pattern.
I hope
Okay.
it was nice. I hope it was nice and complicated, John.
That wasn't that bad.
No, the writing at the bottom maybe, but the cursive at the bottom might be a bit tricky. But
Do you actually print out the patterns, do you, John, and then stick them down onto the board, or?
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can either print it, print the patterns off, and attach them to the wood. I put mine down with I use press and seal. So I get my wood finished first, then I put press and seal on it, which is removable.
Oh yeah,
After, after the pattern is cut, so after the entire pattern is cut, I just peel it off, and I basically just have to do finish sanding on the backside.
Yeah.
So you can do that, or you can I call it tattooing wood. So you reverse print it on a laser printer, and then basically
and then iron it on.
But I basically just use paint thinner to put the transfer onto the wood, and you can cut directly on that, and then it just sands off after.
Yeah. G'day, Russ. How are you? Welcome to the chat.
how you going, Russ?
Hey, Russ.
Yes,
Hi, Herb.
Rustifer.
Rastafari.
Rastafarian. Look at that! Look at that! Well, we got all these scrollers in the turn-in chat now.
No.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get worried.
You worried we're going to get corrupted there, Robbo?
Oh, I don't know about being corrupted. I'm easily corrupted.
There's a lot of transferable knowledge that goes back and forth though between scrolling and turning.
Oh,
Very true.
look,
Very
I think it's the same in all woodwork. I'm also a furniture maker. I used to be. I used to make very high-end furniture, and yet some of the skills there are applicable to everything else that you do.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, except for rusted CNC work, but we won't discuss that right now.
Listen, honestly, I think there's a lot of talent that goes unrecognized in that too. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the machine is doing, but it's really no different than a hand tool woodworker versus a power tool woodworker. You know what I'm saying? You're setting up the jig if you're a power tool guy, and it's just two different ways of doing the same thing. I think there's a lot of respect.
Actually, there was an interesting experiment. We've got a thing called I can't remember the name of it now, but it's basically the whole governing body. And when there was a seminar about 30 years ago, they had two side tables that had been made. Now, one had been made by hand, and the other one had been machine made. Everything had been done by machines. And we were asked to judge which one we thought was the better one. And funnily enough, the machine one, the one done by machine, won. Everybody thought that it was a better looking cabinet, you know?
Yeah.
But you couldn't pick much difference between them. There's only little things, but anyway, that's the way it goes.
Cheers, Russ.
And
Yeah,
if
sure.
if I can do something on a machine, I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's more
and-
accurate.
CNC guys are just taking it to the next level.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, definitely.
See, like I got no problem with CNC. I don't have a problem with laser. I don't have a problem with 3D printing now. But because the thing is, it's basically progression of technology, right? Because like with scroll sawing, for example, because you start with a coping saw, and then you start with a treadle saw, and I'm pretty sure when the first power scroll saw come out, everybody's like, "Oh, what are you doing? That's not even real woodworking,"
Yeah.
right? the same thing they're doing with the CNC machine, and now the laser, and now 3D printing. So all it is progressive technology, and in the way that humans advance. So I don't have a problem with it.
Scroll chucks on a wood lathe. They're only a recent thing.
Yeah, 1988. But I've got a friend that's just spent $1.5 million installing a big water lathe, the water jet cutter. And man, is that thing impressive! Like, he makes prison doors, believe it or not. But it cuts it that fine that you can take the scrap out of it and put it in and can't see the joint in it. And that to me is just absolutely astounding. There's no blade in the world that you could do that with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Water jet's pretty incredible.
I've seen some of these Japanese laser cut steel blocks that
they're
drop
fantastic
into each other, and they're seamless. You can't even see anything with them, and they just pull back apart and spin and rotate and everything. It's pretty awesome.
I reckon that's absolutely fantastic. I could watch them for ages.
It's like I get stuck watching all this Chinese joinery on the YouTube channels and stuff. I'm like, man, I still want to do that. Well, like I was explaining to my wife Carrie, I said, because I want to build a new workbench, and I want to use some Chinese joinery or Japanese joinery. And the thing is, there's so much work that goes into it that you never see.
That's the same with any cabinet. All your best work is hidden.
Yeah, there's no glue, there's no nails, there's no screws. It's all joinery, but you don't see any of it at all. I want to try and get into it, but it's going to take a lot to learn.
Oh yeah. And the best part about it is if you don't like your location, you can pull it all apart and move it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if I had a laser or CNC machine, I could probably do it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I could talk to Russ about that.
I sense a divorce coming up here.
I got a debt to pay off first before I buy any more equipment.
I think we're all in that
talk
position.
about how fine a joint you can make and what the Japanese can do, and that we are amazed at it and the tools that we have today that allow us to be that precise. But you go down to Central America in some of the old stonework, and you can't even get a playing card. You can't even get a feeler gauge between intricately cut stones. And they didn't have steel yet.
Yeah,
They were
that's right.
using stone on stone to get it that tight.
Well, the pyramids were pretty much the same.
Well, to some extent, yes. The inside the shafts, the stuff that I've seen in a long time ago when I was able to get to see some of this stuff.
Dr. Bob said shaft.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, we all know the pyramids are
what do
built by
they call it?
aliens. Come on.
In the big pyramid, the vertical and the horizontal shaft that goes up, you can't get a playing card between a lot of those joints either.
No.
And they've found some places where they've been able to get a borescope in to see what is behind them. And it is still the same precision cut hole all the way through a 20-foot piece of granite or stone. That's perfect. Today you'd use 3,000 to 4,000 grit paper in refining them to get it that smooth.
It was all done by aliens.
That's like that unfinished monolith that's in Egypt there, all out of granite. It's unfinished, but it's smear smooth, and they were using rocks.
Yep.
They didn't even have tools. They didn't have power tools or water jets or nothing. I don't know. It's amazing the lost technology that has been gone forever, that nobody knows how it was done, right?
That's what astounds me about. Like the Egyptians were a very civilized culture and everything else, but they never ever recorded how they actually built the pyramids, which I find absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, they probably half took it for granted, much like we do. A lot of things that we do, we don't record how it's done, you know?
No, yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason we would do that is if we're worried about saving it for, you know, for future generations. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for YouTube, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all
Pretty much.
yeah.
Somebody will be looking at this in 30 years' time and saying, "What's he doing in the middle there, turning by hand?" Jeez, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they're teaching CNC in middle schools now here. They're programming for it. They got robotic clubs that kids get involved with. Some of them love the mechanical part of putting stuff together. Others get a big kick out of doing the wiring and cabling and making it look perfect. And you got the geeks that program the computer that makes it work. But they all are doing something they really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
But they can't do each other's task.
Oh, I used to love pulling things apart. The fact that I couldn't get some of them back together was nothing to do with it.
What are all these extra screws? I don't know. They always ship extra ones anyway.
The trouble,
I think the first thing I pulled apart when I was a kid was a big wind up, big metal arm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, can
Yep.
you just mute for a second, please?
Sorry, brother.
That's all right.
It was a wind up Big Ben alarm clock when I was a kid. I had crap spewed out all over the bedroom. It all went back together, but it never worked again.
It must be a thing with kids because that was my first pull apart toy too.
Yeah, awesome.
But no, I'm actually an A grade motor mechanic and diesel fitter by trade, and Jay and Justin will tell you, I'm a pedantic mongrel. Everything's got to be right or else. And we'd strip down this motor and I'd put it all back together and everything. And when I was cleaning up the bench, I found one part on the bench. I thought, oh, where the hell does this go? So I'm just about to tear the motor down, and my mate, they were all laughing their bloody heads off in the background. I said, hello, what's going on here? He said, oh, we threw that on the bench just to fool you, you know. I said, yeah, well, you nearly cost me another bloody week's work pulling it all down to find out where it went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night then, Chris. Hope you have a good new year.
Thanks for coming in, Chris. Take it easy.
Yeah. Good night, Chris.
Yep.
No, I can honestly say I never left any parts out. One of the worst jobs I ever did was a 22-speed automatic Allison gearbox out of a big earth mover. And I had a workshop that was 100 feet long and 80 feet wide, and I had all the parts spread out down. As I pulled them out, I spread them out along the floor.
Yeah.
So I knew which order they all went back in because I couldn't get a workshop manual for it. And there were 2 rows. That's how many bits and pieces there were out of it, the full length of the workshop.
I've got a mate who disassembles things a lot these days, and with modern technology, as we talked about, advancements and whatnot, he just videos himself as he does it, every little piece, and he talks to himself while he's doing it, what he's processing and all that jazz. Then when it comes time to put it back together again, he just watches the last little bit, reverses the process, then he skips back a bit, and then he watches that little bit, so on and so on, and he's able to recreate exactly the way he did it.
Yep. I must admit I do a lot of solar and electrical installations in motorhomes. That's the other half of our business. And if I have one come in that's got a problem, I photograph. That's the advantage of digital photography these days. You can photograph everything and get close-up shots and everything else and make sure it all goes back in the same way. And
yeah, that's absolutely a fact. Yeah.
And in fact, the electricians these days and the plumbers in Australia, it's a bit different in America. I know we have to use licensed electricians and plumbers if any electrical work's done in the house. Now they just photograph it. They send all the photographs and everything off to the main governing body, and they're authorised 100 miles away, you know.
Yeah, they sign off on the inspection and it's done.
Yeah, saved a lot of time. Geez, Joe, you're not cleaning that chuck, are you, after all this time? You know it won't work properly after that.
Taking all the flavor off it.
Yeah, just take it off and soak in some diesel. That'll work. That'll clean it right up.
Oh, petrol's better. Or thinners is even better.
I don't have any.
No.
I don't have any money either. Before you ask to go buy some.
Go to the neighbor and suck some out of his gas tank.
Yeah, go and siphon some, you reckon?
He'd swallow it.
You only do it once, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a little trick with those, Jay, if you're finishing on the lathe, particularly with sprayed stuff, is get an old sock and put over the chuck while you're doing it. And you just pull it back off the back of it when you want to use it.
It's good in theory, but you've got to remember to do that.
Sorry,
we know what Jay
everybody's
uses one box for.
It's just mainly the lacquer, the clear lacquer that needs to come off.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. It's amazing how it builds up on things.
It's a pity you can't actually put a spray a clear coat of something over it before you even start. That might protect it. And once you've sprayed it all off, basically you just peel off.
Well,
Can't you just put can't you just put Vaseline on it?
You can put wax on them.
Yeah.
You can just put a coat of wax on them, and that'll do the same thing. But I found that, actually, I use a pair of their medical socks to apply pressure to the lower limbs.
Oh yeah.
And they're really handy for that.
Pressure bandage.
Yeah.
Yeah, use them for people that have thrombophlebitis.
Sorry? What was that, Dr.
Well,
Bob?
people that have one of the problems with some people needing the pressure socks is they've had blood clots from their legs, so they have to keep a constant pressure on the outside.
So, Steve,
Hey, Justin.
when are you going to start your lathe up?
Yeah, mate.
Nah, Steve, didn't you say you got a lathe?
Yeah, but hang on, Rob was talking to Justin.
Oh, I don't know.
He was busy looking at the screen then, unfortunately, but I was going to say, geez, Justin, I can't remember turning a shape like that, you know, on that boat.
So, Jay, I'm hoping, I don't know, I might get a bug, but probably when the weather warms up.
Yeah. And when the weather warms up, are you going to say you might do it when it cools down?
Yeah, hell no.
Uh,
I don't like the cold.
you better
What
make
sort
sure you cover that bike up. That'll get lots of dust on it.
Yeah.
What sort of lathe did you get, Steve?
I bought the Harbor Freight, the big Harbor Freight one. It's
Oh, yeah.
the 1236 with the variable drive.
Yeah, the Reeves drive,
Reeves drive,
similar to what Justin's using.
Yep. Yeah, Reeves drive. That's it.
Yeah, just keep them lubricated. That's the secret to them.
Yeah. And check the grub screws around the bearings.
Yeah,
I don't quite know how to bring it up on the screen here, but yeah, and each of the pulleys and down near the motor, there's 2 grub screws on either side of the axle. Just give them a little tick every now and again with the Allen key. Don't gorilla them down, but just give them a little nip. Some of them will move, and you'll start to notice tick 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 sound as it's rotating. That's what that is. Just means it's starting to come loose.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the big thing on a Reeves drive is getting the right belt when you want to replace it. You do not want to go to an auto parts dealer to get a belt for it whatsoever, because the angle of the side of it is a different angle. And if you try it on there, it'll be the right length and the right width, but you're only going to be riding on a third of the side of the belt, so you have less friction, less power transfer. The trick is they're an air conditioning belt. The same angle on the side is common in big air handlers because they drive from the side more than they do just the bottom of the belt. So you want to take the old one with you, just make sure it's the side angle that counts.
yeah. I think it's called an M belt. You've got A belts, V belts, and then there's an M, and I'm pretty sure they're an M.
M. I just couldn't think of the letter for it.
I'd be inclined just to contact Hare and Forbes.
Sorry?
I'd be inclined just to contact the manufacturer and say I need a new belt for that lathe that you sell.
Sometimes they won't give you the right belt either, funnily enough.
No.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight won't.
Yeah, they just
they
have a standard rack of belts. Generally, they're V belts or A belts. And, oh, yeah, the length's right. Shall we joke?
Okay. Harbor Freight's kind of like our Bunnings, is it? They're just retailers for...
yeah, to a large extent, yeah. Well, Bunnings are a hardware store. Harbor Freight are more a dedicated type of woodworking store, aren't they?
Auto mechanic and name
yeah, tool seller kind of.
Tools, tool store, like Hare and Forbes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, Hare and Forbes sell metal working machinery and all of that sort of stuff. And I must admit, I've seen the Harbor Freight catalogue and thought, yeah, pretty much the same.
Yeah. They're power tools, hand power tools. They have 3 grades of everything. And their upper grade, they give you a real good warranty. And if it breaks, you bring it in and they just swap you right there. No questions asked. The middle grade, you might debate a bit. Then the lower grade is what you'd use around the house if you just only use it maybe a couple of 100 hours a year. And they're good for that. But they have 3 grades too, and they go by colors.
Yeah.
And they're all made in China.
Yeah.
Naturally.
So it's neat for you guys because it's all made in metric, everything they do.
It's kind of funny how that stuff kind of mirrors, because you guys said that Bunnings is a hardware store, kind of.
Yeah.
We've got a place here called Runnings, and it's a hardware store. Yeah, it's and I mean, yeah, everything from animal feed to hunting equipment, you know, and hardware. Every piece of hardware you could ever imagine.
Yeah. Well, Bunnings would be the equivalent of your Home Depot over there. In fact,
okay.
Home Depot tried opening up branches out here called Masters, and they went bankrupt in a big way about 12 months ago, for the simple reason that they had their stock levels were being dictated to America, and Americans forgot that we have different seasons out here.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So the stock that they had never lined up with what, like, we had winter stuff in at the start of summer, you know, and it was just ridiculous. And they wouldn't listen to their branch managers or anything, so they went down the tube, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because it was good competition for Bunnings for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You get ginormous business like that, and they try to run it from a spreadsheet, you know, instead of actually understanding the business that they're in.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even open up in South Australia. They built 2 buildings here, like massive buildings, the size that Bunnings would normally have. Like you can see them from space, just about.
Yeah.
And they never actually entered them as such. There's other companies renting them out now. There's a Total Trade Tools or something is renting out the one near us.
Oh, no, they had a few certain lines that Bunnings didn't carry, and
Yeah.
vice versa. But oh well, they went down the tube.
I think that made the Bunnings here over near my place perk up and go, oh shit, we better do something. They extended their building. They added another half of their building. They took up another bit more car park and made it massive. Yeah, I think they kind of shit themselves.
Yeah, but it's interesting to note when Masters was around, the service of Bunnings improved out of sight.
Yeah.
When they went down the tube, I think it's worse now than what it was before Masters came on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, we're the same way. We had a Home Depot and a Lowe's in town here for quite a few years, and they were only half a mile from one another. And during that time, they were always trying to outdo one another, and it was incredible, you know. And then Home Depot went out, and Lowe's is the only game in town. So it is what you got what you got at this point.
Well, I've been known to stand in Bunnings and actually ring the store up to get service in the aisle that I was in.
Yeah, where I'm at, it's within walking distance. We have both Lowe's and Home Depot, and Ace Hardware, which is a pretty good national chain, but they're expensive. They're nice. You can go to and just get one screw, one bolt, whatever you need,
and pretty much whatever you need too. If you need motor brushes, you can pretty well go to Ace and find them.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty well equipped.
We're a semi-rural area where we are, and one of the hardware stores down the road is called Ponderosa Timber. They sell a lot of treated timber and stuff like that. But they're the old hardware store that if you go in, you can have one bolt and a nut and a washer, you know, or any other odd sort of thing. It's actually great. It's a real old-fashioned hardware store.
Yeah.
I remember going with my grandfather as a little kid. I mean, like 4 or 5 years old, to the hardware store because I loved going. And it was an old-fashioned one where nails were in barrels. And they actually had a potbelly stove. And they had these ladders that had wheels on the top and rolled up and down these big shelves. It was full of drawers, and they knew exactly what cabinet, what layer, what drawer the parts were in you wanted.
Yeah.
I remember
same deal.
There's a couple of them like that still around where I live. uh, probably a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, depending upon traffic. They've been around 106 years. Their building is a landmark. And they are the same thing. I had a neighbor down the street from me had got from this auction a pitcher pump. You know, the old fashioned pumps, the
Yep.
style, the pitcher pump. And they wanted to have that outside, but they wanted it to work. And I was joking, well, what are you going to pump water out of? Well, we'll get a bucket of water or a big tub and we'll put water in there and we'll put a float valve from the toilet so as we can turn the water on. It had all these great ideas, and it was rainwater they were going to put out there in it, and then have the pump so when the grandkids came, they could pump water. Okay, and they had it worked out. They had a screened filter that they could take on and off. They could get to the bottom of the pump pipe, but couldn't get it to pump. And
Yeah.
they asked me,
Justin,
you know
mute,
what?
please.
Sorry.
You're right. Right, go on, Bob.
They asked me if I knew where to get the parts to fix this old pump. And it was rusty and old. And I told them they had to take all the paint off. People had painted it over the years, different colors, because it had been outside ornament. And finally got it apart. Went up, had a mechanic with an impact wrench take a couple of the bolts out of it, the top half, so I could pull out the plunger. I took the plunger to the old Hershey hardware store, and I walked in and I said, do you have gaskets for this, or can I get the gasket material to make them for the two ring gaskets that went up and down? They were just plastic rubber, but all hard as can be and broken, dried out. He said, well, let me look. And he said, let me call my father. Brings this other man over, an older man, and they start talking. And yeah, we've got them. We just have to try to remember where. So they go get on the intercom, and it's like, Gramps, where can I find pitcher pump parts? And all of a sudden, across the squawk box, row 6, way up at the top, they're called miscellaneous P. And they went down and took their ladder on a rail and went up and come out and pulled a wooden drawer out. And they had the gaskets to fit that old pump. And I said, well, how much is it going to be? And at the time he said, this makes no sense. This is 3 cents. That's 5 cents. This is 15 cents.
Yeah.
They had the original price tags.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
So
it's the
he
same.
gave me what I wanted, and I give him a $10 bill, and he said, started pulling out the change. And I said, okay, because he was giving it to me for what was on it. He said, I didn't even know they were there.
No,
So I take the change, and I drop it in the local community fund project to help people build homes.
Yeah, you got the pump back together. Do you have to show them how to prime it?
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, fellas.
we had
You have to keep those things wet,
or at
at least a little oil. They use bacon fat, according to my grandparents, because they used to have one in their yard.
we had a hardware store called the Old Tin Shed in Melbourne. It was run by a bloke who was 80 years old. And anyway, you'd go in there and ask for some obscure thing like the gaskets or something like that for that. And he'd say, he said, oh, no, we've got something. I'll just ask the young fella. The young fella was 72.
Yeah. 1 minute here. Depends on which clock I look at.
Yeah, they're all watching their clocks overseas to see the countdown.
And then the clocks and everything tick over, and it goes back and doesn't go to 2021. It just goes back to 2020, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
I remember back in Y2K where I was watching TV to see what happened in Australia before anything happened over in North America.
Yep.
What's going to happen in Australia?
I saw that this morning when I was got up. And
Yeah, Happy New Year, John. Happy New Year, Bob.
Thank you.
How long
I
for
hope
you, John?
you have
See?
a prosperous, healthy New Year.
It's like
all
2
of
hours.
you.
Oh, okay. Same to you, mate.
2 hours. I didn't need that. I do.
Not those two.
Yeah, let's all hope that it's a better year than last year, right?
Fireworks.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, we've had fireworks going off every hour for the past 2 hours now.
Oh,
Well, as somebody was saying, we haven't started the new year with the state on fire, so that's always a bonus.
yeah, that's right. Not like last year.
Yeah, like whatever happened to all the fires? Like nothing, once COVID hit, everybody's all like, "Oh, no, the fires are out. No big deal."
It rained.
no.
We're in Australia now.
No, actually, what happened there, John, was they just about got them contained, and a massive rainstorm came through, and then they faced floods. So it was out of the frying pan virtually into the water, you know.
Yep.
And because the fires had destroyed so much ground cover and everything, we had massive erosion through a lot of the forests and things. So, and the oh, hello, Shay Lee.
Hey,
Hi,
Shay.
guys.
So yeah, they copped it from both ends, and then of course COVID hit, and that really put the kibosh on things.
Yep, my phone just told me what it was. It changed its screen.
Yeah,
Not bad, 23 degrees and snowing here.
Hey, Shay, how come you're not out for New Year's? We're not out partying. No scrolling shows on. She's got to resort to turners.
Yep, you have to watch the bottom middle.
There's only one Turner in this group, and he's rolling a cigarette, mate.
All right. There's no sucking up here, Jup.
Let's have a look. I think I'm creeping up on it. Slowly.
yeah.
You know. See how we go. Why it's called homework. Practice.
That's it. Oh, you've come to the right channel then, Shay.
Yes, Sean, that counts too, but there's a difference with that though.
To a certain extent, John, yes, it does, because I'm sure what's going through your head, there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah, all the voices. And Shay, you're watching people who can't turn, so not much of a difference.
No.
I think you're doing a pretty good job there.
She says she likes watching stuff that she can't do. That's
Yeah.
why she enjoys watching us all the time, because she can't do us. Haha.
I actually like that spiral decoration you got there, Justin.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I did that on purpose because I wanted to just demonstrate your expertise and what you taught me the last time I was there. You had us doing spirals. So there you go. Darren would be jealous, mate.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh, Jay, when you get down there, mate. You'll be making tons of these.
No, I won't be. I think I'd rather hold the broom, to be honest.
No, John, you're not being a downer, mate. Better to let it out than try and keep it all in. Swing the handle towards you, Justin, as you're going down to get the curve into it.
All right, I'm back. I had to go kiss my beautiful bride.
I figured that's what you were doing, so Happy New Year, Steve.
Thanks, brother. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year, Steve.
Thank you very much. Oh, Shaylee's in the chat. Hi, Shaylee.
Oh yeah, you're busy kissing your wife. You didn't even see her come in.
Yeah, I didn't see her coming. I do, John. Thank you. Well, Leslie's like you.
You actually started that cut too far back there, Justin. You've reduced the half feed on the end. Yeah, there. Yeah. All right, I'm going to share something with you that I very rarely share, but John's brought something up. My brother committed suicide 35 years ago, and he was my best friend. And we did everything together. And all I wanted to do was hang myself from the rafters for the next 6 months because I was so lost.
Not alone, mate. Tell you. Not alone.
Yeah, a loss like that is pretty terrible.
And that's where friends are important.
Amen. It's a rough time during COVID. You don't have the friends you can hang out with. They used to wander over and use my shop all the time, which was kind of nice.
Yep. And
I haven't had anybody in a year, even
and the fact that my wife, who is my best friend, totally understood.
Well, there are times that I have pills I take that the VA gives me so it helps me sleep because I still get flashbacks of being tortured as a POW. And what brings them on, I have tried all my life, it's the last 50 years, to try to figure out what will trigger them. Haven't been able to. I've had a lot of hypotheses, but they don't seem to work that well.
And trust me, John, it does get better, and it does get easier with time passing. You only remember the good things.
Yep. Yeah.
I know it's a cliche, but
There's no timetable on grief. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it.
no, that's right.
And yeah, I'm sitting with a mate at the moment. Not right now, but I'm going to see him on a regular basis. He's just buried his wife after a 2-year battle with leukemia. And we sit there and stare into the fire, and just sometimes we just talk crap, just pass the time, and then every now and again we'll talk about something that he remembers, and it helps him process. But just take your time, John. Just process it. It's all good. Talk about things that you remember that make you happy. If something's making you angry, just talk it through, mate. Doesn't matter. You're not going to get us down. Just talk about whatever you want to, brother. Jump on. If you've got a link, you've got a microphone and a camera, jump in, man. We're all here for you, man.
John.
Yes, Jay.
What projects are you working on? Got coming up? Any secret private eye stuff you don't want to tell us about?
No. I'm doing a candlestick holder and the dog portrait. Then I got to make a box for it. And that's what it. I'll be working on it on the weekend anyway. So.
Doing them live?
Yeah, probably. I'll be bored. I'm pretty sure nobody else will be on, so I'll be doing that.
What time do you normally run on, John? What time do you normally come on?
There's no exact time. There's no exact time. It's just like when I'm up and I'm on. So
you just say yes. Yep, that's what time I'm on. Yep. That time exactly.
Well, see, when you guys go live, it's freaking 6 o'clock in the morning for me. I'm like, no, I'm not getting on. I'm not getting up that early to watch these guys. When everybody in the UK is doing their lunchtime live, it's 7 o'clock in the morning here. I'm like, no, I'm not getting up that early just to watch a live turning show.
No, well, their lunchtime lives in England are midnight for us.
Yeah, it's like 6-7 o'clock in the morning here. And
I don't see how Mark handles it. He'll be here at night, and he'll be doing the lunchtime live there next.
He doesn't sleep much.
No. But it's like, you know, even if I go on at 9 o'clock, it's like what? What time? What time is it there now, Jay?
3:45 in the afternoon.
Okay, 3:45. So yeah, so figure if you figure 12 hours from now, I'll be on. It'll be 10 o'clock in the morning here.
So it'll be 3:45 in the morning. Yeah, I'm not getting up for that either.
Come on, don't you want to watch a scrolling show?
Much as we love you, John, go to buggery.
I'll be watching you, John, mate. Don't you worry. I'll get up.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
sucking up now.
Like sometimes I'll go on 8 o'clock, sometimes I'll go on at noon, I'll go at 2. It also depends on who else is on too. So
Yeah.
Oh, Jay's live. Quick, go live now. Quick. Hot dog.
well, because like Charles will be on because so then Steve and Herb and Russ will be on his show, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to steal them for mine, so. But if Shay's around, she wants to be on a show, I'll be like, yeah, Shay, let's go do a show.
You still do them on YouTube.
Yep.
Sorry,
No
Shay.
comment, by the way. What's that new one? Oh, fans only, right?
Yeah.
And that's dead right, Steve. It does take time.
Do you make anything, John? N?
Yeah, exactly. Herb. Everybody shows up at my place anyway. I'll probably be doing some talking on my show this time, though.
Why? Nah. What about?
Anything. It doesn't matter. Steve knows the story.
Oh, anything. All right. I'll be there.
If anything goes on my show.
Nice if you did some scrolling on your show for a change, mate.
John N, I just asked if there's anything that you make. Do you make anything? Like turn or scroll or bang nails in wood?
Or anything, or draw, or knit, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
He does a lot of woodworking stuff.
Yeah.
If you go over to Nave's Woodworking on Facebook, show all the stuff that he builds over there. NAVES Woodworking over on Facebook. Go check him out.
Yeah. Looking it up now. It's funny you were saying about needlework and stuff before, but earlier today we were talking about how these crafts and arts all cross over and intermix. But even my wife's quilting, I find that the geometry and assembly of all of what she does there's a lot of interchange between what she's doing and woodwork.
Yeah. Like I when I got out of the military, I used to do cross stitch. I did a lot of cross stitching work, and it was just I just buried myself in my cross stitch, and that was what I did. Now Carrie does quilting, and well, she does more genealogy and family history right now. But I got my woodworking, and so we got our own little things that keep us busy. So
Yeah.
Look at that. Shay says she's going to do a live tomorrow too.
Woohoo.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm
Herb.
definitely getting up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. We can all jump on Shay's show and see how she's doing over there.
You know, us Aussies are professional hecklers, don't you?
What's that supposed to mean? You should actually go over to Midnight Scroll Her's page and see the work that she's done. She's very awesome at what she does.
Yeah,
I think
I've actually looked at some of her work and it's fantastic.
I think she had a really good teacher. I think she had a really good teacher that taught her a lot of good things about scroll work.
Did you get that intricate thing finished off, Shay, that you were showing us the other day?
Her bear tree that she was doing?
That's
Yeah,
the one.
she finished that all up. Yeah, she finished that up and she stained it, and it actually looks really awesome. And it's framed up and done now too. It's on her site, and she's working on a portrait right now. I think she got a 5 or 6 person portrait she's working on right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Russ, exactly.
I wonder who taught her.
I don't know. Some awesome scroller that likes to do one-on-one tutorials with people that want to learn how to scroll saw.
Well, I'm going to have to say goodnight.
A business card.
Oh, yeah, it's right here.
I've been up 20 hours.
Well, then get to bed.
Yeah.
It's past midnight.
Yeah. I noticed it's 20 after, but
Yeah.
I had to stay up because I wanted to see New Year's and I saw it come in there in Australia, so that's enough.
Yeah. Nice. Good one, mate.
Yeah. Happy New Year back to Bob.
Yep, you
Bye,
too.
Bob.
Yeah, good night, Bob.
Thanks for coming in.
You all have
Bye.
a good, safe, sane holiday, what's left of it.
Yep.
There you go. See John Naves. He's going to be turning and scrolling in the new year as well. No, Shay, we don't heckle your shows. It's just the way you insinuate stuff about wood products.
Hey, someone said the other day, they said, if it comes out of their mind clean, it's only going into your mind dirty. Yeah.
But that's what I told Charles, right?
Yeah.
See, Shay, so it's your clean mind, your clean words, they get misconstrued in the dirty minds of men.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know.
You're more than welcome to come in here, Shelley, and defend yourself without so you don't have to type it, There's that whole delay thing and stuff. They could be starting something else before you've even spoke, before you've even typed.
Hey, Yappy, how's it going?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Yappy.
Happy New Year, Yuppie.
Hi, Yappy. Happy New Year, bud.
Got to get those stickers in the mail to you, Yappy. Sorry, man. We've just been busy over Christmas. But they're coming, I promise.
What's that you got on the lathe there, Jay?
I'm making a handle, an extension handle for my tailstock tightener.
Oh, okay.
It's only about 3 inches long, and I'm having to hit it with a hammer to get it down tight enough because I don't have the to do it. You see, so this part's going to be the extra.
You're going to put a ferrule on them?
Oh, there's plenty of ferrules around here. I don't know if I want them on my wood though.
No, well, you need a ferrule on them, not an F-E-R-A-L, an F-E-R-R-U-L-E.
All right. What's that anyway?
The things like on the handles of the chisels to stop the wood from splitting.
Basically,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a piece of copper pipe you stick over it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell! You tell me I need to make handles. You don't tell me I need that part too.
Well, that's
Do your
part of
homework, Jay.
that's part of making a handle.
That's only, I was just going to gorilla glue it over the metal.
No, it'll break. Or
What'll
it'll
happen,
split.
Jay? What'll happen is over time it'll do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it splits. It'll
Yep.
That's what these
mushroom
are for.
cap and then split open on you.
I mean, even these ones, they split when I was driving them home. So that's what the ferrule was for.
Yep. All right. I'm going to knock it on the head in a minute. Appreciate everyone coming in.
All right, mate. Happy
No
New
worries.
Year to all the Americans.
Yeah.
And Canadians, don't forget them
And
too.
Canadians. The Canadians,
Right.
eh?
I still got an hour and a half, eh?
Darn it. You better start a live, John.
Yeah. No, I gotta get going inside here.
All right. Appreciate you coming on. Take it easy, and hope everyone has a better year than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys. Take it
Too
easy.
true. See you later.
Catch y'all later, guys.
Everybody.